Titus Flavius Vespasianus, known as Titus, was the 10th emperor of the Roman Empire, reigning from 79 to 81 CE. He is best known for his military achievements, particularly in the Jewish War, and for his relatively brief but impactful reign. Titus's rise to power and his reign as emperor would leave an enduring legacy, particularly in the context of the Flavian dynasty and the broader history of the Roman Empire. Titus was born on December 30th, 39 CE, to Vespasian and his wife Flavia Domitilla in the town of Phalacrina, located in the Sabine Hills. His family belonged to the equestrian order, a class below the senatorial aristocracy, but still significant in Roman society. His father, Vespasian, rose through the ranks of Roman politics and the military, and by the time of Titus's birth, he had already begun to build a distinguished career. Titus had a privileged upbringing and received an education typical of the Roman elite. He was well versed in literature and the arts and studied rhetoric, philosophy, and military strategy. He had one younger brother, Domitian, who would later become emperor. Titus's close relationship with his family played an important role in his rise to power. Titus's early career was centered on military service. His first major military engagement was during the campaign in Britain in 60 CE, where he served under his father Vespasian, who was the governor of the province. However, it was his involvement in the Jewish War, 66 to 73 CE, that would define his career. In 66 CE, a Jewish revolt broke out in the province of Judea, and Vespasian was tasked by the Emperor Nero to suppress the rebellion. Titus was sent to Judea to assist his father and eventually took command of the Roman legions in the region. Titus was responsible for leading the siege of Jerusalem in 70 CE, one of the most pivotal moments in the war. The Roman forces, under his leadership, captured the city after a brutal siege that lasted for several months. The destruction of the Second Temple, a sacred Jewish site, marked the end of Jewish resistance and solidified Titus's reputation as a skilled and decisive military leader. Titus's success in the Jewish War brought him immense popularity and prestige in Rome. Upon his return, he was awarded a triumph, a lavish celebration marking a military victory, and was hailed as a hero. However, the destruction of Jerusalem had devastating consequences for the Jewish people, and the sack of the city and its temple would be remembered as one of the most tragic events in Jewish history. In 69 CE, the Roman Empire was plunged into a period of civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors, following the death of Emperor Nero. The chaos that ensued allowed Vespasian to emerge as the victor, and he was declared emperor. Vespasian's ascension to the throne marked the beginning of the Flavian dynasty, which would rule Rome for several decades. As Vespasian prepared to take control of the empire, he appointed his son Titus to serve as his co-emperor and to help oversee the transition. Titus was given the title of Caesar, which indicated his position as the heir apparent. This move ensured that Titus would succeed his father when the time came. Vespasian's rule saw significant changes in the Roman Empire, including a series of reforms aimed at stabilizing the finances of the state, which had been ravaged by Nero's extravagance and mismanagement. Vespasian was also known for overseeing large building projects, most notably the construction of the Flavian Amphitheatre, later known as the Colosseum, in the center of Rome. Titus played an important role in these projects, and after Vespasian's death in 79 CE, he would continue his father's legacy. Titus ascended to the throne after Vespasian's death on June 23, 79 CE. His reign, although short, lasting only 2 years, was marked by significant events that shaped his legacy as emperor. One of the first major events of Titus's reign was the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, which destroyed the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum. The eruption killed thousands and buried the cities under layers of volcanic ash. Titus is remembered for his compassionate response to the disaster. He sent relief efforts to aid the survivors and ordered the reconstruction of the affected areas. His prompt action in the aftermath of the eruption won him praise from the people and solidified his reputation as a ruler concerned with the welfare of his subjects. In addition to dealing with natural disasters, Titus faced challenges from within the empire. The Jewish diaspora was still a point of tension, particularly in the eastern provinces, and several revolts occurred during his reign. Titus also contended with a difficult political environment, navigating the interests of the Senate, the military, and the growing number of imperial freedmen. Nevertheless, Titus managed to maintain relative stability, benefiting from his father's solid foundations. One of the most significant achievements of Titus's reign was the completion of the Colosseum. The iconic structure, which had begun construction under Vespasian, was completed under Titus and inaugurated with a series of grand gladiatorial games. The opening of the Colosseum was a major spectacle, and Titus's decision to offer free entertainment to the Roman people was immensely popular. Titus's reign also witnessed a degree of imperial consolidation. Despite his relatively brief time in power, Titus was able to strengthen the imperial system and ensure the continuation of the Flavian dynasty. He was remembered as a ruler who combined military competence with a sense of responsibility toward his people. Titus's reign was cut short when he fell ill and died suddenly on September 13, 81 CE, at the age of 41. His death was believed to have been caused by a fever, though some rumors suggested that he was poisoned. Following his death, Titus was succeeded by his younger brother, Domitian, who would go on to rule the empire until his assassination in 96 CE. Titus was deified by the Senate, a posthumous honor granted to emperors who were considered worthy of divine status. His reign, although brief, left a positive impression on the Roman people, and he was remembered as a compassionate and capable ruler who had responded effectively to major disasters and successfully completed significant construction projects. His military achievements, particularly his role in the conquest of Judea, would remain a defining part of his legacy. However, his reputation was also shaped by his actions as emperor, such as his efforts to aid disaster victims and his dedication to the welfare of his subjects. Titus's reign marked the end of an era for the Flavian dynasty, and while his brother Domitian's rule would ultimately be marked by autocracy and tyranny, Titus is often remembered as one of the more benevolent and competent emperors of the early imperial period. Titus's legacy has been remembered for his remarkable leadership in times of crisis, his military acumen, and his ability to maintain the stability of the empire in difficult times. His reign, though brief, left a lasting mark on Roman history and helped solidify the Flavian dynasty's legacy for generations to come.